And we are live over there in YouTube. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, guys, for joining us. We have a very special guest with us, and we're going to talk about some special stuff. We want to welcome Miss Carol Kinuthia Wambutia.
One boy.
I know you're going to fix the name for you. Please forgive me.
It's okay. I understand that.
I did practice, I swear.
Yeah, you did. You didn't get it, but you are doing good.
So,
Yeah,
absolutely, please believe me, I did practice. But
you did. Wow.
yes. So,
Uh,
Carol, we're
yes,
so glad you are here with us, and you're going
thank
to
you.
shed some light. You're going to share your story. You're going
Yeah,
to enlighten us, and so that's what it's all about. This enlightenment awareness. Actually,
yeah,
it's Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and so
yeah,
every moment we get to celebrate, to bring awareness, and
yeah,
just to encourage people around, the children that we parent, and how
yeah,
they can chime in and support as well, because we
yeah,
believe it's an ethical responsibility to play
yeah,
our part.
yeah,
So if you're listening on Voice of Our podcast, welcome. If you're listening for the very first time, we encourage you to share this video, share the information, because all of us, for some reason, we all know someone who has been affected by Down syndrome or other special needs.
yeah.
So let me introduce you again. Our special guest is Carol Kinuthia Wambutia, right?
One boy. One boy. You almost got it right.
All right. And Carol is
It's
all
okay.
the way from
Mhm.
Nairobi City in Kenya.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenya, thank you so much for sharing
Hi.
with us. She's a wife, she's a mother of 4 children, and a
Yeah.
special mom to her third child, who's a girl. She was diagnosed with cerebral palsy 2 years afterwards. So we're going to learn some more from Carol about that. Carol has a
Yeah.
beautiful mission. Her mission now is to bring awareness about cerebral palsy and inspire parents to persevere amidst the diagnosis. We are going to hear much more about that as well. Carol, she founded an organization. It's called Precious Blessing Cerebral Palsy Foundation. And presently, she's serving 115 children and their parents who's been affected and living with cerebral palsy. Carol,
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you
Who
so
is
much.
Carol?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Pastor Masha. It's an honor to be here and share my journey with you, with the world, to create the awareness, to let people know there's a condition that is called cerebral palsy or CP, and especially people who come from Africa, just to let them know CP is not anything to do with witchcraft, but it's pure medical condition. Yeah, and it's a journey, that needs love. It needs a lot of support, a lot of hope, and above all, to live knowing it was the plan of God to give us children living with disabilities. And so we ought to love them, support them, and take them like, ask yourself, what if it was you who is affected by the disability? How would you
Mhm.
want people to hold you? Wouldn't you have wanted people to love you, to support you? Yes, to love you
Yes.
just as you would be. So do that, give it back
Wow.
with disability and accept them just as you would have wanted people to do it to you. Yes.
That's actually a scripture too, Carol. Thank you for
Yes.
sharing that and bringing that reminder. I know you
Mhm.
say in Africa, but globally,
Yeah.
worldwide,
Mhm. Yeah.
wherever human beings are, wherever there's a male and a female,
Mhm.
reproduction is inevitable. And in the
Yeah.
midst of that, Carol,
Yeah.
is
Mhm.
anything can happen, right?
Yeah.
Any
True.
situation can happen. And that's why I'm
Yeah.
so grateful that I know you're a busy
Yeah.
mama and the
Mhm.
journey, and I know in the background
Yeah.
is somebody in the home who's helping,
Yeah.
looking over your child right now as we sit here to have this conversation and
Yeah.
to bring awareness and
Yeah.
encouragement to
Mhm.
the people. But scripturally,
Yeah.
it says that
Mhm.
treat
Mhm.
people as though you would want to be treated, because it could have been any one of
Yeah.
us on the other
Mhm.
side. So
Very
thank you
true.
for that reminder, Carol. So
Yeah,
yeah,
welcome.
tell us
Mhm.
more. So when did tell us
Mhm.
about your journey? What's your story?
Yeah. Mhm. Well, to start with, I thank God, by the grace of God, I'm married and I'm a mother to 4 beautiful kids, 2 boys, 2 girls. The baby that is causing us to be here today, she's called Precious Blessing, our third born, who was born with this condition that is called the CP, or cerebral palsy. It's unfortunate that she acquired it during delivery because of doctor's negligence, but we
Mm.
forgave them and decided to move on. Yes, because of her, I create the CP awareness, and the journey has not been easy.
Well,
Yes, the more. Mhm.
go ahead, Carol.
All right. She got the condition during delivery, as I've said, due to doctor's negligence, but we
Yeah.
forgave and decided to move on. The journey hasn't been easy. We at 3 months, there were some changes that we noted in her, like she could twitch, she could cry, just have this cry that she was crying just from nowhere. Maybe she could be sleeping, and then all of a sudden she could just cry and then just keep quiet, like nothing had happened, and then she could just go back to sleep. So we decided to go back to the hospital with my husband, and I thank God for my husband. He's so supportive. He really loves Precious, and in this journey, it has not been so challenging because he holds my hand, and I really thank God for him. So we went back to the hospital, took Precious. There we met the doctors. Okay, definitely they knew what was happening in Precious' life, but they opted not to let us know about it. We came to realize that our Precious had CP, or cerebral palsy, 2 years later, and that was through a therapist. So 3 months when we went back, we were given some anticonvulsants that was introduced to Precious. So we were told like how to be giving her, like each day. If I was to decide to be giving her at 7 in the morning or in the evening, I had to keep that time. So we continued like that for a month. And then we were told before the medication were over, we would go back for more, of which we did, until at some point we asked the doctor what was happening. And then he told us because Precious had a difficult birth, so she was supposed to be on medication for a while, whereby we were told not to compare our baby with any other person's baby. Ours is special. But what they didn't want to do is to disclose to us like the exact thing that Precious was having the condition. So what they told us was that Precious was having this condition that is called HI2. HI2 is a process of acquiring CP, or cerebral palsy, but the person has not fully acquired it, of which it wasn't true. Precious already had CP, but they were doing that to protect their name, just to make sure like we didn't know much about it. But even though it was like that, I still thank God for that, imagine, because today we look back and we are like, if we knew Precious had this condition as from birth, I think you would have gone a very hard time than now. Like you are a new mom, and then you just, like I realize the baby has a condition and which is permanent unless the Lord does a miracle, it would have been hard. Initially, we used to blame them for not telling us immediately, but trust me, nowadays we changed our minds. We are like, it was okay. It was worth it for them not letting us know it at that time. But we moved on. Then a while after that, we were introduced to therapy sessions for Precious, of which we were advised to be taking her 3 times a week. That is thrice on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, which we continued. And then they could give us hope, like, you don't worry, your baby shall be well, the baby shall be well.
Yes.
And yeah, we could realize like time was, moving, like she was growing up, milestone. We could wonder what was happening, but the doctors could tell us, like, you just keep moving on, and
Carol,
we see a
let me
future.
pause there a few seconds.
Yeah.
So let's go back to, you said, it was the doctor's negligence
Yeah.
that causes.
Yeah.
What happened right there in the birth?
Okay, what happened? Precious was a big baby. At birth, she was 4.2 kgs. And for a short lady like me, there's no chances of giving birth normally when the baby is big. But she didn't have any condition like diabetic. No, she was healthy. So what was supposed to be done, I was supposed to be taken for a CS immediately, cesarean section, of which they didn't do. Yeah. So what they were telling me is just like continue with the labor, push the baby so that she couldn't be born. But what happened is that she actually got stuck because she was big. So this thing of getting stuck is whereby she got tired and then she lacked oxygen, whereby now she got this what we call asphyxia. Asphyxia is lack of oxygen. And normally brain feeds on oxygen. So the moment a human being's brain lacks oxygen, it means danger. It means either death or a condition, and probably autism or cerebral palsy. Now for Precious, she got this cerebral palsy.
Yeah. I like what you break that down, and that's where I think I want to stay a little bit. So the problem that happened that leads up to cerebral palsy diagnosis for your child, you're saying that she was a huge baby, and so instead of choosing to go for a cesarean section, a C-section, your doctor proceed to have you go through the labor process, pushing and all that. But then the baby stuck right in the birth canal. And then there was lack of oxygen. I like what you said. The oxygen is the food for the brain. So I want to I think I felt led to ask you to speak to Kenya and the continent, right? In your language, and about how CP comes about and what is the food of the brain. And therefore, loving this child in the home is not because you've sinned. It's not because the child is some demon. You can still love this child. Is a lack of oxygen to the brain, which is the food for the brain, that leads up to this diagnosis and now and the condition. So go ahead and speak. Tell us in your language.
I use mother tongue.
Yes, you speak in your language right now because your people going to be listening to this.
Yeah.
Out from your language and then tell us again what you just said in English.
Okay. Kirende ugane tiriri irio brain hakiri cia mundu ni cibataraga riera na riu mundu angikorwo ndari na riera hakiri ciaku ndagika iria cingĩaga riera niguo hari murimu uyu wingiraga witagwo cerebral palsy kana autism no muno yukaga no cerebral palsy. Koguo riera ni ria bata muno ungigathie uigue mutumia ni aragire mwana na mwana ucio ndanarira ona aguthaguthwo ukamenya hau hena undu tu muru wekika already condition ni yaingira. No riu kiria gibataraga ni witikire kwenda mwana waku oguo aciarwo tondu ni undu wekika ti mahitia ma nyina ti mahitia ma ithe ona ti mahitia ma Ngai muno gukorwo ringi ni ndagitari aciarithirie hekika kaundu undu ucio waingira. Riu kiria gibataranagia ni wende mwana ucio umwitikire. Yes, ureri ucio ni ukorwo uri murito no uhote kumwenda, witikire tu kumwenda nigetha uhote kumurera wega. Wiyuria atiriri ko niwe undu ucio wa gwikikira ri ungienda atia thito wende kwendu thito wende kuoyo wega wikoe mundu ucio oya mwana ucio uguo wecokeria uhote kumurera uguo. Yes, what I've just said is,
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I know Carol, we're speaking to Carol Kinuthia on the Voice of Hope show. If you're listening to us on Spotify, wherever you're listening to this audio, or you're listening on YouTube, Carol is one of our parents who is joining in the Awareness Month, and the condition that she represented is cerebral palsy. You just heard her speaking into her language. She's from Kenya. No, she's going to translate for us in English what she just said. And I think we're going to bounce back and forth between English and the Kenyan language because we're also speaking globally.
Yeah.
Tell us in English, please.
Okay. I'm explaining this condition of cerebral palsy, how one acquires it, and especially when a child is being born. Yes. Actually, what happens, cerebral palsy is a pre-existing condition. What that means is that a condition that comes, which initially it was not supposed to be there or it was not there, but something happens such that condition, boom, and it comes. And mostly is lack of oxygen. Like for example now, our baby, Precious Blessing, who is now around 8.5 years, she lacked oxygen during delivery at the hospital because of doctors' negligence. And so, yeah, the condition came in. It's severe, that stage. That means it's non-reversal unless the Lord does a miracle of healing her. But we accepted it and we moved on. We decided to love her because, for one, she's our baby. Secondly, God was there even when Precious was being born. He saw the negligence that was there happening, and somehow he allowed it to happen. And it's all for his glory. Today we are here doing the Cerebral Palsy awareness, disability awareness, because Precious Blessing is here. And because of her, I got these 115 CP kids that lives with a condition just like her. So we say in everything, there's God, and there's a reason. There's a reason why our children were born with the disabilities. Some of these things, usually I say we shall know the reason, sometimes maybe in heaven. But at the moment, let's just love them, accept them, give them the support that they need, and just love them, just the way we would have wanted it to be done if it were you who is in that condition, so that we make their lives better. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much for that explanation. And we're going to bounce in between your language. What's the name of your language?
Ikuyu.
Ikoyo?
Yeah.
Ikoyo.
Kikuyu.
I?
Kikuyu.
Ki. Oh my
Kuyu.
goodness. Kikuyu.
Yeah, you got it right. Yeah, Kikuyu.
Ikuyu.
Yeah, Kikuyu.
Ikuyu. Ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking to Miss Carol Wambuthi from Kenya. So, Kenya, please forgive me, but I'm going to practice. We're going to hang out with Carol a little bit more so we can get the pronunciation together. But this is what it is. Cerebral palsy is not because you're saying it's not because you know somebody did some witchcraft, something at the start. No.
Yeah.
Your Carol is saying to us, and she explained in her language, that the brain, the food for the brain is more oxygen, and when it's depleted, then you get adverse effect. And as a result, that is why you see all of the various deformations that happen, you know, the function of the body and the movement and so on. Damage happen to the brain. And I love to call the brain the motherboard, irrespective of the diagnosis, Carol, and you know, you and I as parents, we can agree that it doesn't change the fact that something happened in a child's brain. And so it's Down Syndrome Awareness Month. And so we, you know, and it's Disability Month as well. And so when it comes down to cerebral palsy, right, and so which a lack of oxygen to the brain at the time of birth, is stuck in the birth canal, like Down syndrome, you wouldn't see the deformation that we see in our kids with cerebral palsy, right? But what is happening for Down syndrome, ladies and gentlemen, is that there's an extra. I have these pipe cleaners I've been using all week through my videos, where the chromosome number 21 pair, right? Each of the chromosome that in our body has a number. So chromosome 21 should have been just 2 chromosomes. Thank you so much for joining us, Pastor Carla. We're talking to our guest, Carol. Carol is all the way in Kenya, and she's standing behind cerebral palsy. And so we're just having a chat, and she explaining in her language. She translating for us. So we say she's bilingual, right, Carol? We'll definitely share the links here, and we'll also be having another podcast. So for chromosome number 21, it should be a pair, beautiful pair, using these red pipe cleaners to demonstrate. However, in children with Down syndrome, they have an extra chromosome. So instead of having, 2, they have 3. Yeah. And so this is what causes the characteristics that we see for kids with Down syndrome. They have these 3 chromosomes. So instead of, normally we should have 46 combined, right? But now a child with Down syndrome have 47. And like you and I who cook in the kitchen know that anything that's too much creates an abnormality, right? And so for kids with Down syndrome, Carol, it's mainly the brain is the problem, which is the midbrain. So you wouldn't see too much of, the ends, curved in and that because there's oxygen problem. So that's what's going on. And I can't emphasize enough, Carol, the unawareness. We're going to use a better word, unawareness of parents, caregivers, community members, or where they are, that this is not a witchcraft situation. And yes, I talk to persons, in other African countries and so on, globally, who says community members persecute families who have a child in the community with cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, whatever the challenge might be. And so before we leave again, Carol, I want you to tell us again in your, I'm not going to say a language name, I don't want to mess it up, in your language again, just a huge reminder to the community that cerebral palsy is not a witchcraft situation, but it's a lack of oxygen to the brain, which is the food our brain needs, you and I. If we don't get, and the same thing will happen to us, something will happen to our brain if we do not have enough oxygen going to it. So thank you so much for reminding us of that. So anything else you want to say about just your story and your journey? I love how you show us that you and your husband and your family incorporate forgiveness. Oh my goodness, just huge. It's like the medicine that all of us need to set us back on the path of life, Carol. So I love how you turned up and you ended up forgiving the doctors, because you know what? That's how the healing starts. Tell us about that. The minute you and your husband start to embody forgiveness.
Okay. So we got to a point we decided to forgive them because this was pure negligence. Remember, this was a condition that was not supposed to be there. Actually, like I was calling the doctors, we were there with my husband in the river ward, and we could just cry to them, could tell them like, something wrong is happening. The pain was too intense. Remember, I have to, like, we had already had other two kids normally. That means that were born, through the birth canal. So I could tell there was something that was wrong because these contractions were so, so intense. Like there was no break. Normally there's this what happens during contraction, there's a break, like over a few minutes, then it comes back like that. But this one was like non-stop. So I could tell them, God, something bad could be happening, but unfortunately we had that negligence. So we totally had to forgive them and they moved on. And we thank God. When you know God, there's that peace, and believing in God, there's that peace that comes in your heart. And because we are believers, we have to forgive. Forgiveness is a must, is part of us as Christians. So we forgive them, moved on. But I can tell you it wasn't easy. Like I used to have a business that I had to stop and stay at home, be a full-time mom to take care of Precious. And so at some point I decided, like when I went into dinner, there's a stage that I have skipped. But when we discovered that Precious had cerebral palsy, that was when she was around 2 years.
2 years old.
2 years of age.
It wasn't until 2 years old, 2 years into parenting this child, you were aware. Tell me about the awareness stage. When did they say something to you? Were you going to your doctors and say, you know what, I am observing that something is different about my child?
Used to go, like for the anticonvulsants that she was taking, she was being given from the same hospital that where she was born. So we would go there, but the doctors were not telling us, like Precious had CP, cerebral palsy. They were saying Precious had a condition that is called HI2. You see? They were telling us a different story. And so they could just tell us to keep on taking Precious for therapy sessions, giving her the anticonvulsant medication, and telling us, like, don't compare your child with someone else's child. You see, definitely they knew her life was just to be different. But just that they didn't want to disclose that to us. Maybe they could fear being sued or just letting this thing go to public. But we thank God. We discovered it at 2 years through a therapist when we had taken her for her sessions. And then we were so discouraged, I can tell you. I literally cried. Have you ever cried, in front of people and you like forget there are people here? It is me and my child and God. Like, God, you mean this is what has been happening? And how come, like, the doctors never told us? They never opened up to us and let us know. But
So
it
even
wasn't easy.
so
Yeah.
so you're 2 years in on the journey, and
Mhm.
so this condition happened, as a
Mhm.
result of your medical professional then move
Yeah.
it to C-section, seeing the
Mhm.
size of your child. Now the child
Mhm.
gets stuck in the birth canal.
Yeah.
And 2 years into this journey, they're still
Yeah.
leading
Mhm.
you on as though what you were observing, what you were concerned about was it wasn't
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Try to keep it in the dark. And so
Yeah.
these are some of the challenges that parents
Mhm.
face. And
Mm.
in society right
Yeah.
now, most time they don't believe what mother says.
Mhm.
Of course, somebody might say, but Marsha, I know somebody right now was
Mhm.
not a good mother.
Mhm.
Yes, we understand there is issues.
Yeah.
All of us have our
Mhm.
right or downfall side, the side that
Yeah.
we lead to that's not good and not God.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
we're talking about that parent who, the mother, the father who says, we know,
Yeah.
doctor, we know something is not right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't believe mothers. However,
Mhm.
if you're a
Mhm.
mother or caregiver out there, I want you to know that what your observation about your child,
Yeah.
your gut,
Mhm.
truth and your gut intuition, keep
Yeah.
trusting that.
Yeah.
Keep trusting
True.
it,
Very
right?
true.
So
Right.
don't let anybody else tell you that what you're feeling. You bring that
Yeah.
child for 9 months, right?
Yeah.
You and this child have this
Yeah.
whole different bond that nobody else can
Yeah.
come in between.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
just you and God kind of uniqueness, right?
Yeah.
So believe what your intuition is saying and
Yeah.
be the
Mhm.
voice. Continue to be
Yeah.
the voice. Break
Yeah.
through barriers.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to put up in front of you to let you start you to
Mhm.
believe that you're not good enough, your
Mhm.
judgment, your intuition, don't
Yeah.
buy into it. Because
Mhm.
here
True.
you basically had was to go along with them. And I
Mhm.
know you pursue this hardcore to
Yeah.
get to the point where it's like, you guys giving me a wrong diagnosis of
Mhm.
the problem that you even know as well. And I love how
Yeah.
you forgive them,
Mhm.
right? Because
Yes.
God
Yes.
loves people,
Mm.
right? God
True.
loves people, and
Yeah.
there is no way when we have been forgiven
Yeah.
for our sins. Right?
Yeah.
The Bible tells us in John 3:16, God
Mhm.
so loved the world. Who is in the
Yeah.
world?
Mhm.
People and his
Mhm.
animals and places and whatnot. But we know
Mm.
we are superior to all of that, right? So
Yeah.
it's our place to forgive. And you know what,
Yeah.
Carol?
Yeah.
You and I know, and for most of our listeners out there, is
Yeah.
that we can't even come to him to pray
Mhm.
about your situation in our life or challenges that we face as special parents
Yeah.
without forgiving them.
Yeah.
Who is
True.
them? Is people. So I
Yeah.
love how you embody that in order to move forward.
Yeah.
And that's part of your message that you're sending out to your foundation right
Yeah.
now, and the scriptures that you really embody. So I
Yeah.
know you embody Jeremiah 1:5.
Yeah.
You wanna read for us?
Yeah. Yeah. Jeremiah 1:5. It says, "For I know the plans that I have for you, plans not to harm you, but plans to prosper you." I really love this scripture because it tells me that God knew our special children even before they were conceived in our homes as parents. Can you imagine that?
Uh,
Sometimes, yes, imagine that.
let me
Sometimes
just
you,
pause on that because I
yeah,
love that scripture so bad because it's like
mhm,
two things happening right there. He said he knew
yeah,
your child, and we must
yeah,
just speak to our friends right there and our caregivers, and that person is going to get that diagnosis probably
yeah,
yesterday
yeah,
or today, Carol. He's
yeah,
happening globally wherever a man and a woman is, and
yeah,
this reproduction is going to happen, right?
yeah. Yeah,
Something
that I
it's
imagine.
inevitable.
Yeah,
And so,
God knew
about that.
about it. Can you
But can you
imagine?
imagine? He
Yeah, even
knew.
before we conceived these children, if sometimes you are like, wow,
I want you to
God,
go ahead, Carol. We're gonna
yeah,
do this back and forth. I just felt led to do it.
yeah,
Please go ahead and tell us, Jeremiah chapter 1.
yeah,
Tell us
mm,
about God knowing in your language. Tell
mm,
us about God
yeah,
knowing
yeah,
our child And your child, which is our friends who are listening, before you form them in our womb,
yes, he knew about them.
Remind them about that for me. And then remind them that God also has a plan.
Yes.
For the child. The same child that doctor right now is telling you or told you to terminate. God has a plan for that child.
Yes.
So you can take him at his word. And you can say no to abortion.
Yes.
Come on board with this child. If for no other reason, guys.
Yes.
Carol is on the journey for, with our child with cerebral palsy. I'm on the journey for Down syndrome. And you might be on the journey for autism, Down syndrome, ADHD, and the different letters, the different alphabet, different word, different terminology. However, tell us that God has the plan in your language.
Yes, Jeremiah emwe muhari wa ithano yugaga atiriri nida kuwi onotana ciaro onotana ingira nda-ini ya maitugu na ndina mibango miega nawe uguo ni kuga atiriri Ngai nioĩ ciana citu ona citanaingira nda-ini citu tutanamakua ũritũ-inĩ ũrĩa tugaga mũndũ nĩ mũtumia nĩ mũritũ ciana icio ona citanaingira nda Ngai nĩ aciũĩ arĩ na mĩbango mĩega nao na ũmũthĩ ũyũ ta rĩu for example twĩ haha nĩ ũndũ wa ciana ici citũ special koguo kaba kwĩhoka Ngai mwana ũcio ona aciarwo ahana ũguo mũtikamũmene mũtikamũte mũmwende mũmenyage atĩrĩrĩ mwana ũyũ arĩ mũbango-inĩ wa Ngai na nĩkĩo Ngai areka aciarwo ahana ũguo koguo ũndũ wa bata no hingo ciothe nĩ ũkwĩyũragia atĩrĩrĩ ko nĩwe waciarwo ũhana ũguo rĩ ũngĩenda atĩa ndũngĩenda wendwo koguo enda mwana ũcio ũmũmenyerere ũmũrere wega na Ngai nĩ arĩkũrathimaga. Yes.
Thank you so much. And whenever you get a chance, you put it in your language, because we're speaking to our people. We're edifying. It's Awareness Month. Whether it be Down syndrome, it's cerebral palsy. But isn't today Cerebral Palsy Day?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is cerebral palsy.
It will be tomorrow. Yeah. On 6th. Yeah.
The 6th. And I'm happy to, if you want to jump on a live and just bring the awareness on that day as well. So let the people hear your voice and let them speak to it and speak in a language. So because we want people to understand and be informed.
Yeah, I will. I'll go live tomorrow sometimes. Tomorrow I'll go live.
Yes.
And put the awareness in my mother tongue, Kikuyu, including Swahili and English.
Yes. So thank you so much for doing that. You have a responsibility. You and I have a responsibility. And if you are a parent or a caregiver, thank you so much for taking your time to share this audio, share this video, connect with us on YouTube. You have a responsibility to do your part. Maybe you just got a diagnosis. Maybe you know somebody who just got it yesterday. Maybe there's a husband planning to leave his wife because it's a blame game about, you causes it, age causes it, or whatnot. But whether you just get a diagnosis or you're on the journey parenting already, for Carol, our guest, she's over 10 years on the journey. For me, as the mom with the child with Down syndrome, we're on the journey for 5 years of parenting, but 2.5 decades of serving the community of special needs. But wherever you are on this journey, we're just imploring you, we're just inspiring you and informing you that God knew your child before he formed the child into your womb. And not only forming it and leave you to go fend on it by yourself, he also has a plan, as we said in Jeremiah 1:5, that God knows the plan that he has for you. What the plan that he has for you? Plan to give your child a future, plan to give you hope, plan to prosper you, and a plan not to harm you. Therefore, if anyone is asking you to arm that fetus or to arm that child, don't do it. Because we believe, right, Carol, that the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. Everything here in the world is this for God. Right? And so you got to get to that place where you have to understand, what does you and your whole soul gonna surround this child with? And Precious, it's Carol, it seems like your family, you're also decide that you're gonna surround Miss Precious with the love of God, forgiveness, nurturing, caring. Because right now I know your husband, and we want to celebrate her husband too, because I know your husband right now is in the back, caring for her while we are here, sharing and relating, and just bringing inspiration. And we want to thank our husbands. We want to thank the male in our lives. We are not downplaying this in any way and taking credit as the mothers who is doing this. There's mothers who have the dads right beside it. The dads have a voice. They feel the love and the compassion. Tell us a little more, Carol. How does your family support Miss Precious?
Yeah. Oh, I thank God for my family. One thing that I discovered now through Precious, and a family that is blessed with a child who is living with the condition or any disability, is how, as the parents, how have you shown your family? How have you shown them about taking care of the special child? Have you taught them like the special child is a human like them? Have you taught them that the special child needs a little bit more love, a little bit more care? Yeah, like for us, we told them. Initially, they were very concerned. Like I used to have a neighbor who had that child, actually just an age mate of Precious. And then we discovered like, how come our neighbor's child is talking, walking, and Precious was still, couldn't do all that milestones. And so at some point, we just decided to let them know like the exact thing that happened to Precious, such that even in future, we wouldn't have to change the story. So we told them the truth. We told them during Precious delivery, there was a negligence of the doctors, and so Precious' life was changed. You didn't say forever, you never know, God can do a miracle tomorrow. And but however, she's a special child. She needs to be loved, to be supported, to be given all her basic needs, which are the anticonvulsants, the diapers, the assistive devices, the wheelchair, the special meal, such that even if I'm not around, they're able to do that with a lot of love. And I thank God, they really love Precious. They love her, they care for her, even like when schools are closed. Yeah, I do get some free time, like I can go home to see my mom, and they're left here with Precious, and they really love her, support her, and that is something that I really appreciate, because the moment you show your family that your special child or the special family member is a human, I'm telling you, they will just do that. But in case you show them a different thing, like negativities, that's how they will do. They will treat that person, in a bad way. But what I mean is how you show your family, especially as a mother, that's how they will treat that person or the child. So for us, we taught them Precious is good, she needs love. And then we have this, I call it angelic language that we uses. And we thank God, like she has some sounds that she creates. I'm telling you, there's a sound that she creates when she's like wet. We will understand, we will attend her. There are some sounds that she creates when she's nervous. We will know, like when she's, like just want to move around. Yeah, and even them, they get that. Already they know it, and it makes our lives easier. Like, yes, she's nonverbal to mention, totally dependent on us, but we thank God for everything. We don't find her like a burden, but we call her an angel. Yeah, because she's the angel of the Lord. The reason why God chose us as this family to bless us with Precious in that condition, because God saw that we are qualified. In us, we have some qualifications. Yeah, we are qualified.
I love that.
God allowed it to happen because already He had prepared us for her. So when she came as a gift, we were ready to receive her and move on. Like we don't even see, yes, there are challenges, but for us, we don't find it like it's a burden. No, it's our lifestyle. She's like that. She's special, yes, and we move on.
That's powerful. So let's see it. Let us have a can rephrase, and then I want you to tell your people in the language about how important the home is, because that's kind of like one of how we feel about the home.
Yeah.
Let me say this in my way, as best as we can, but every home or every mother, our family who find herself with a child in the womb that God places there before he know them, he know that it was going to happen, and he placed in your womb.
Yeah.
We are just like inspiring and empowering and imploring and reminding and just bringing this to you that your womb is qualified for this.
Yes.
Because it's the womb first, and then it comes to it's a home. The womb and the womb. Your womb and your home is qualified.
Yes.
Previously.
Yes.
Therefore, you do not have to terminate. You do not have to abandon. You don't have to give this child up for adoption or anything. You just need to bring this child here, bring this child in the womb, because your home is already qualified, and also your life and the things that you need will be provided. Whether it be community, like, I'm going to talk next about your foundation, but whether it be community like Carol's foundation, or community like our Voice for the Voiceless, or a support group like the group that we have. Carol has a group, but she's going to tell us more about that for her foundation and what she's doing. And so either or, there is a community out there for us. Can you please go ahead and translate for us? And we just tell us a while ago about the home, how you and you educate your children about supporting Miss Precious, and how you tell them, you and your husband tell the kids the truth as to what was going on, what happened into the delivery room. As a result of that, you and your husband now model for your other children as how to treat Miss Precious. And when this modeling is done in the home, this honesty with the other siblings, then the community has to come along, because they see us how we model care and honesty and love in the home when we step outside, by the way we care for our child, right? And so tell us in translate for us, please.
Okay.
Well, encourage them also to focus on and that. Remind them again that cerebral palsy is a lack of oxygen to the brain, and that's the food for the brain. And this condition come from there. This was your story. And so as a result of that, the best thing we can do so far right now is to embrace that, bring the child come in the world, don't terminate. Embrace, be honest with the rest of your household, right? And so, and then tell them where to find her, to connect with you in your language. And then when you come back, when you translate, tell us in English where we can find you.
All right. Tugire murimu uyu wa cerebral palsy kana condition, undu wa mbere ti murimu ungiheo dawa uthire. Kire twikaga ri, mundu na mwana ucio umuheaga dawa nigetha ahote guikara, tondu ungiaga kumuhe dawa icio kana therapy icio, mwana ucio no akinyirwo ni ihinda ahuruke. No ungimurora wega, umutwarage therapy icio, agathondekwo, ukamuhe dawa, ni kwagira, ona agakwagira biũ, no ni egutura nginya matuko maria Ngai ekwenda. Na ndirikana tugire murimu uyu kana condition ino yukaga ni ndu wa hakiri kwaga riera. Riu ciaga riera niguo condition ino ingiraga. Koguo maica ma mwana ucio kana mũndũ ucio ni makorwo maritu. Riu kiria mwana ucio endaga ni umwende, umwitikire, umurere o ũguo ahana. Ukiyuragia korwo niwe githe ndungienda kwendwo so kiende mwana ucio umumenyerere, umurerere, na ndukanecirie hindi yothe ateta guikara hihi umwikie undu nigetha akue, nigetha we utigwo uhuruke. Ngwire ona mwana uyu kindiria ahuruka, tondu ninyonete aciari mena ciana icio cihurukite, gutiri kuiganira mundu iganagira, especially ko hihi ni undu wikite, ona ko tu no tugioka kiana choro undu mwana ucio no agutigana na kironda ngoro-ini. Koguo undu mwega ni kumwenda, ndukanecirie kumwika undu muru, tondu Ngai ni onaga mwana ucio ona agiciarwo, ona undu ungi wa magegania na wabata ni guikara ukimenya atiriri, mwana ucio no atanaingira nda-ini ya nyina ri, Ngai ni amũĩ na ngiri na mibango miega nake. Koguo ri we ndugatukane we uguka unine maica ma mwana ucio, so mwende, umumenyerere, umurere wega, na Ngai no arithia kumwika wega maundu hingo ciothe na ikare ukimenyaga atiriri Ngai hari gitumi kiria giatumire one we niwe wagirire kurera mwana ucio ta wiyugi hau hanyu hena andu aigana mena ciana na matirĩ na ciana special no we wĩnake nĩ ũndũ wa kĩ tondũ we nĩ ũhĩtũkĩte wĩna kĩrĩa twĩtaga qualification wĩnacio nĩ ũhĩtũkĩte mũtihani wa kũrera mwana special koguo ndũkeyũragie nĩkĩ wĩnake aca tondũ wĩ mũhĩtũku kĩgeranio gĩa kũrera mwana special nĩkĩo wĩnake. You have muted. You have muted.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much for listening with us. You're listening, you're just hearing the conversation we're having with Miss Carol Kinuthia from Kenya. And she was translating in her language. And then she's going to go ahead and she's going to translate. She's bilingual, okay? So she's going to translate for us back in English an overview of what she says. And she's going to give you, Carol's going to give you information as how you can reach out and can connect with her.
All right. As you have said, cerebral palsy or CP is a pre-existing condition that happens to the brain. And the food for brain, we said, is oxygen. So the moment the brain lacks the oxygen, this condition hits in, and the life of the child or the person who is affected becomes totally different, and that person will live to be dependent to somebody for the rest of their lives. So what is supposed to be there is you as the family members, as the parents, as the caregivers, love that person, love that child, support them the way you would have wanted it to be done to you. And just do it with a clean heart, and just know that this child, before she was born or he was born, God had plans and good plans to that child, such that even before the child was conceived in their parents, in their mother's wombs, God knew about it. For us, we could be saying it was negligence, it was this, but no, God already had that plan. That's why he allowed it to happen. You see, like for us, it was, we see it's negligence, which is true. But do you know God was there when Precious was being born? So if God really wanted to prevent it, he would have done it. But he didn't do it. Why? Because he had plans. The plan for Precious is like, for one, the reason why I am here today, we are here with Pastor Marshall because of Precious. Were it not for the cerebral palsy condition, we wouldn't be here. Like even the 115 kids that I have for CP, I wouldn't be having them if Precious was not born with this condition of cerebral palsy. So that is part of the reason or the belief that God says, the Bible says that I have good plans for you, not to harm you, but to prosper you. And God is faithful in this journey of disability, special parenting. It's not easy at all, but by the grace of God, we are pushing on, we are pressing on day by day. And we thank God, because through it, we are still touching lives. People are getting, the hearts are getting healed. People are getting the awareness. Families are coming, they are able to accept their families. And we thank God, it is good. We can't complain. No, we are at the point whereby we thank God for our special children. We no longer complain. We no longer ask God questions like why. Now, some of this we don't ask why, because already God has that reason. And in the book of Jeremiah, there's that answer. When you ask why, you go there in the Bible, in Jeremiah 1 to verse 5, and you find the reason. And we press on.
This is powerful. Thank you so much for that beautiful translation. Carol, you founded the Precious Blessing Cerebral Palsy Foundation, and you're serving currently 115 children and their families with this diagnosis. Tell us about your organization and where we can reach you. Persons who are hearing and want to connect and support the vision mission where you're rolling on.
Okay. By the grace of God, I thank God through the awareness that I create. I appreciate and thank God for the favor that I get here in my country, Kenya. Like I get chances to be invited to media houses. Like even this week, I have 2 more interviews before we end the week. Yeah, and so I have met a lot of parents, especially parents of children having different conditions, but because of Precious has the condition that is called cerebral palsy, that is the condition that I understand. So I decided to have a group of these parents whereby we have a WhatsApp group, we have a foundation that is catering for them, whereby like in the WhatsApp group, we chat, we talk, we share our journey. When someone is down, we discuss, we give hope, we encourage. In case of a demise, we are there. Like I'm almost having to attend the barriers, even though sometimes they are so far, maybe I don't have to go, but I send a representative, maybe a person who could be coming from that area. So we are together, we support each other. And one of the things that I also do for them is to look for sponsors, for donors, to bless us with things like the basic need of children living with cerebral palsy. Their assistive devices, which are CAFOs, HAFOs, standing aid such, wheelchairs. But I thank God I've got somebody who is blessing us with the wheelchairs. At least that side, we are sorted and we are grateful. The things that we are remaining with, which are like daily basic needs, are the diapers, the food stuff, the anticonvulsant medication. Yeah. So what I do after some months, I organize an event for the parents whereby I involve people. I look for people to bless us with the stuffs, which are the mainly food stuffs and the diapers, which our children can't live without. So, and I thank God for that favor. I do get. Currently, I don't have a permanent, sponsor, but I get one here, one there. They can be given whatever they have, small, and we distribute amongst ourselves equally. What we do, we distribute equally what people have given, and we move on and we do thank God for that. And then I have this dream. Initially, before I started the foundation for CP children, when I was young, I used to have this dream that one day, even when we got married, I told my husband, one day, one time, we will have a children's home. And we were just waiting for God's timing. But then when Precious was born with this condition, I kind of decided to shift the dream from children's home to something like therapy center for special children, a school which we call special unit, yeah, for special children still, and a hospital. So I have these three dreams, and currently I don't work. Like my work is Precious and creating the awareness. At the moment, I have that dream, but it has not come to reality. It's a dream, and I'm trusting God that one day, one time, He will give us the land whereby we will buy, or somebody will donate, or the Lord knows how we'll get the land, such that we'll be able to put these facilities so that we can be catering for these children in a way that the parents can be coming, leave their children with us at the facilities, and then we'll be able to go and work. Because currently, most of the mothers don't work. They're at home taking care of the children. And that also makes life a little bit difficult because like in a family whereby it's only one person who is earning, it's never easy. But at least when both parents can be working, people share bills and life becomes much better. So I have that dream, and I know in God's time, He will come through, and He will make my dream to be a reality. So if you would want to reach out to me, I can give my mobile number, which is you must put the code for Kenya, which is +254. You must start with that, +254. Then my number is, if you want to call, you must put 0. It's +254, then 0724 661967. Let me repeat that. +254 0724 661967. On Facebook, you can find me there. Blessings Bonnie. You'll find the photo that you are seeing here on the board there. You'll find me. I'm there. Blessings Bonnie. Bonnie is BONNIE. You'll find me there. Kindly follow me. And the messenger, you can still reach out to me. And so far, I have found a land. There's a place, when you are a woman of faith or a person of faith, and I have this dream. Yes, I don't have the money at hand, but I just moved to a place whereby, I'm trusting the Lord that the Lord will give us the finances such that we'll be able to secure. I found a land which is 2 acres. A 2-acre land, we'll be able to hold our facilities together. And at least also we have a compound, a place for the parking for the children, to be, like basking, a good compound. Yeah, it's somewhere here in Nairobi, in the just outskirts of the city. It's called Ruiru. The place is called Ruiru. 2 acres. It's going for that 6M. But God is faithful. God will come through and He will provide the funds, the finances. I'm trusting the Lord. Even if somebody would give me the finances and just come and says, Patience, I'm going to buy this land for the foundation so that the kids can benefit, so that the kids can get the therapy sessions that they really need. Remember, therapy sessions are mandatory to our children as long as they live. So they need it. So it's something that is among the basic needs that we have for the special children. And we are now about a year ever since we started the foundation. And in the next 5 years, I'm trusting the Lord that we have a testimony. Come the end of 5 years, we have something to celebrate, like the facility will be there, and the, like the hospital will be running, the therapy center, the school, and the life will be changed of the special parents and the special children, all for the glory of God. Thank you.
Wow. This is
I have
huge.
an account.
I love. Okay, go ahead and give it the account. I love how you were saying, I have a dream.
Yeah. Yes,
So
I have a dream.
Can you help
Yes.
Precious Blessing Cerebral Palsy Foundation CEO Carol Kinuthia dream come true?
It will come true.
Can you help with this? Because it takes all of us, guys. It takes all of us to help and to play our path in supporting and contributing in various ways. Maybe you are a parent or you're listening and you're like, guys, I would love to. I know exactly what you're talking about. Or maybe you are, a relative or someone down the line who was affected by cerebral palsy. Probably this is the kind of thing and mission and stuff that you want to support. So yeah, you can do something. You can either share this video, you can send it to someone you know who can help in Kenya or anywhere in the world, because globally we can all, with social media and everything right now, we can all participate easily. So there's basically no excuse as how you can help. Carol, go ahead and give it I want you to, number one, repeat the number that you gave, and give us social media again and the account people can reach out to you. And also know that we are, our Voice for the Voices, we are here in the United States, located in Colorado. And you can also reach out to us as well, because sometimes there's a connotation around everything that is scamming. And we understand that. But everything is, our Voice for the Voiceless is a 501c3 organization. And so all donations are tax deductible. So if you want to support in any way, we could be like a liaison for you and your funds to Precious Blessing Cerebral Palsy Foundation. And so that's one way as well. Or you can reach out directly to Miss Carol Kinuthia. She's over there in Kenya, through her organization, Precious Blessing Cerebral Palsy Foundation. And here she's going to give us one more time her phone number, her connection, her social media page, and her account in which you can reach out. And also, I would love, Carol, for you to translate in your language down there and speak to the Kenyan people.
Yeah.
I know the first time when we talked, you said you knew where a piece of land was already.
Yeah.
I think you should, speak to Kenya in a language and let them know you know exactly where something is for sale. Did you know the cost for that already? Did you find out the cost?
Yeah.
Okay, so you should know the cost already. This is a mother who is, oh my goodness, let's back up a little bit. This is a mother, Carol Kinuthia. She's over there in Kenya. She is not only a mother of child with cerebral palsy, but she's also a wife, and she has 3 other kids at home. She is bilingual, guys. She is, speaker Kenyan language, and she's translating back and forth for us throughout a conversation, because we believe that we're speaking to a wide variety of people globally. And so this is what families does. This is what mothers does. Though we are at home caring for the children, running, just managing the family manager, we're also finding ways in which we have to give back. And so we can talk about that later on, but go ahead and give us the information again, the number and the account number, and then translate first.
Yeah. Anybody who would love to reach out to me via phone outside Kenya, put this code first, +254, then 0724 661967. Let me repeat, +254 0724 661967. That even
That the WhatsApp
to still go through. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And also on social media, Facebook, I'm there. I create CP awareness. I speak about disability almost every day. You can find me there as Blessings Boni. Blessings Boni. Boni is BONNIE. Yeah, you'll find me there. And in case of any support, I can give you my bank account, which is 095 017 084 0513. My bank account again is 095 017 084 0513. Yeah, and you
repeat that one more time. Okay. I know somebody is writing it.
All right.
Slower. So 095
095 017 084 0513.
3?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 095 017 084 0513. And that's the account number if you want to donate something, contribute, or whatever. And if you want to have a conversation with Carol, you can reach her on a WhatsApp number, which is 254 0724 661967. And you can have a conversation with Carol. Carol is also on Facebook, and you can find her on the Blessing Bonnie. That's BLESSING BONNIE.
Yeah, exactly.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
Right, on Facebook. And guys, if you don't let anything, let me encourage you not to let anything come between your contribution and playing your part in helping Carol's dream come true. And what is that dream? Her dream is to build a foundation, a huge complex that's going to cater for school needs and therapy needs for children and their family affected by cerebral palsy. Carol is over there in Kenya, and so she's going to translate for the Kenya community, because already Carol has identified a 2-acre piece of property in her town. And so she's just going to bring more awareness around this. And so if there's neighbors and community people who want to reach out and to talk more about putting on a fundraiser, a partnership together, or something to make this dream to a reality, as I say that, I saw a groundbreaking. I see where it's like quickly see a flash of a groundbreaking, they're digging the dirt and doing that groundbreaking ceremony already. So thank you, Lord, for that. And we're gonna be praying and believing and touching and agreeing. And you can do the same thing as well. And if there's any reason, for any reason, the question might comes up as, is this a legal thing? Because we hear all this connotation about this, and we know of stories and challenges where people were not being honest with the ask or with the problem and the concern, the organization that they're presenting. You can reach out to us at ourvoiceforthevoiceless@gmail.com to help with a little bit of verification based on what we know that Carol presented us as the legality and the honesty about her foundation. But either way, our organization, Our Voice for the Voiceless, was a 501c3 organization. We're based here in the United States. We can vouch if you want to support through us to reach to Carol. We can have a conversation around that too. You can email us at ourvoiceforthevoiceless@gmail.com. Oh my goodness, Carol, I love it. Let's go ahead and translate in the Kenyan language and speak to your people. Tell them exactly where the piece of property is in Kenya. And the cost that you found out already. And so, and how they can help you on this, because everybody's going to know the location. And when you come back, tell us exactly where that piece of property is, so we can say, I can say it again.
All right. Adito aramaigua rũthiomi rũrũ ndĩrawaria ndĩna kĩroto gĩa gũkorwo mũthenya ũmwe twĩna handũ tũgwaka therapy center, cukuru ya ciana special, nĩ special unit na thibitarĩ. Nĩnyonete handũ tũngĩgũra he Ruiru, handũ hena ĩka 2 cia mũgũnda na ĩka icio 2 cirauma 36M. Handũ tũngĩona Ngai atũhe mbeca kana Ngai akũhutie wĩ hau ũhote gũtũgũrĩra handũ hau ũngĩoke tũhote gwaka, nĩtũgũkorwo na mũciĩ ũcio ũrĩa ciana ici cia Precious Foundation kana ingĩ cirĩũkaga, ciana special. Cukuru nĩ ĩgakorwo ĩrĩ boarding, atĩ ũndũ ona ciana icio nĩ marĩũkaga magatiga ciana icio kũu, tũkorwo nginya na andũ angĩ a wĩra, tũkorwo na arimũ arĩa marĩũkaga makarora ciana icio, nĩgetha aciari aya tondũ aingĩ tũkoragwo tũrĩ wĩra, tũkoragwo mũciĩ ciana tũroraga, ciana icio nĩ kũhota kuohoka, nĩ kũhota gũthiĩ wĩra, nĩ kũhota gũtũtigĩra mwana wake kũu, nĩ tũkũmũrora. We no gũka arĩũkaga, agoka agacera akarora mwana wake. Cukuru ciahingwo no oe mwana ainũke nake, cikĩhingũrwo amũcokie. Nĩwona nĩ gũkorwo harĩ handũ hega. Koguo mũndũ wothe ũngĩhutio ũguo nĩ kwenda kũtũnyitĩrĩra, ndakũhinyĩrĩria, ndakũhoya ũkawĩtĩkĩre kũhingia kĩroto gĩkĩ ndĩnakĩo, na Ngai nĩ ũtuĩka wa kũgocithio nĩ ũhoro ũcio. Thengiũ mũno.
Thank you so much for that translation in the language. So Carol, just translate the same thing that she said earlier about her foundation, where she see there's a piece of land somewhere over there in Kenya. 2 acres would be enough to build this therapy center. It has been her dream even before she and her husband find out that before they got married. And so she wanted to build a school, but now when the child that God knew before he placed her in her womb, boy, this is powerful. She, even before she married, got her husband and everything, she had this vision of building a school, a vision of serving. No, that's powerful, okay? And so she adjusted her vision just a little bit to include now this child that she represents. This condition that she and her family has to endure due to the child being stuck in the birth canal. And of course, the lack of oxygen is the one that leads up to cerebral palsy. Now, Carol is building, wanting to build. She has a dream. I just keep hearing that again. She has this dream of building a complex that's going to care for therapy and education for children with cerebral palsy. And so, yes, she has a foundation going. It's Precious Blessing Cerebral Palsy Foundation. It's over there in Kenya. And so Carol has given us our account number if you want to donate or support directly, and her WhatsApp number if you want to reach out to her is 254-0724-661967, and our account number is 0950170840513. Am I correct?
Yeah, right. You're correct.
So this is your account number. What bank is this?
Equity Bank.
Okay, let's do
Equity.
some spelling.
Equity. Like the
Equity?
way you spell, yeah, equity.
Oh, is this EQ?
Yeah. Equity.
ITY?
Yeah. Bank.
Okay, so Equity Bank.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this is good. This is beautiful. Carol.
Thank you. Yes.
So tomorrow is if I don't know when you're gonna listen to this, but October the 6th, 2023 is going to be Cerebral Palsy Awareness. Is Awareness Day?
No, not awareness day. We create awareness on March, but tomorrow, yeah, the whole month of March. But tomorrow, October 6th, is a day to celebrate. We celebrate people affected by this condition.
So Cerebral Palsy Day is
yeah, exactly.
October 6th.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And so
it's worldwide.
And what?
It's a worldwide thing. Like wherever you are,
global.
a child, affected by the condition, just look for your little ways to celebrate them. Make them feel loved, make them feel appreciated, make them feel, they are human. That's their day.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am so grateful and I'm so thankful for your time. And I'm empowering and encouraging those of us in our community, in our neighborhood, who have known someone or never heard of someone before, but you like this kind of organization and what she's doing, to do your part. You know what? We all have an ethical responsibility to speak up for those in society who cannot speak up for themselves. Can you imagine what this world will be if you and I will play our part? If you and I will speak up for Miss Precious, if you and I will speak up for Nathan with Down syndrome, or speak up for that neighbor, that cousin, that stranger that you see. And this is ways in which you can do so inadvertently by supporting, helping Miss Carol to build that complex that's going to help that child with therapy, with her education, with housing supplies like diapers, medication, and the works to offset the pressure that families oftentimes experience. Because one of the things that we also have to be mindful of is that one parent is only one parent can work in a household outside of the home that has a child with special needs. And yes, most of us can work from home if we get a chance to build that skill and establish that small business from home. And that's what most parents pursue. I know one more thing, Carol, I know last time we talked about the different skills and training that parents need.
Yeah.
Do you want to put it out there so that if somebody in Kenya or wherever in the States or around the world who hears it and want to reach out to you to volunteer, to give up some training or a course and so on?
Yeah, thank you for that, Pastor Masha. Yeah, there was a time we shared that, we discussed that with Pastor Masha. I talked to the parents, the special parents that I have, the 115, and I asked them like what kind of skill they would have wanted if they got sponsored. I have a number of them who wants to do beauty, some wants to do hairdressing, some wants to do, driving. Some say if we have get some money, we can start a business whereby we'll be able to support themselves. And it's something that I'm still trusting the Lord for the finances. Already we have identified, like the parents, we have identified the places whereby they can go for the skills. If the salon, if the welding, there's the driving schools that's some of them want. Yeah, already the facilities are here. What we only need is the sponsors, people who can sponsor us to accomplish that. And we would really be grateful for that. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. And then I want you to translate to in a language. But
Yeah.
we hear our voices. We're definitely going to be talking more about how we can partner and who we can reach out to on our side, so we can help these parents who, as we discussed, that sometimes only one parent can work from in the home. And so here we have parents who, I'm guessing fathers who want to go out and to drive for the community, probably mothers who want to start small businesses from home while caring for the child with cerebral palsy or other special needs. And this is what makes it all beautiful, that we're not only mothers, we're not only parents and fathers, but we are also the CEOs, the translators, the organizers who are saying, bring awareness and reaching out so we can pull somebody else up from the back. So whenever way you possibly can, let's do this together, guys. It's not, you're going to take all of us in that sense to support a family who is raising a child with special needs. Carol, I thank you so much. If you're listening, Voice of Hope podcast, share this video, share this audio, reach out to us. And if you have more questions, we're going to definitely put the information for Carol in the notes on our YouTube page and wherever this audio is platform is going to be, and so you can have direct access to reach out. And if you have any questions or concerns, or you just want to reach out, you can also reach me at my cell phone number is my business number is 970-948-8982. And you can leave us a message or send us a text if you have more questions. Carol, go ahead and please translate and speak to the Kenya community and the surrounding, that these parents are looking to gain these skills so that they can be very much self-sufficient. Remind them again and then kind of like, wrap it up. Cerebral palsy is caused by this. This is your story in your family, and now it's not a curse. And so here we are, you're giving back, you're serving, you're parenting. Your husband and you is very much partnering. I know because I saw him, he was helping you set up earlier on in the background, and then we acknowledge him. So we want to acknowledge our men, okay, and in our lives. I want to also empower the men and the women and the family to come on board, because a diagnosis is simply as a result of something that happened down the line. And so, and then tell them give them a little bit of your information again, or they can reach out to you and have a dream. You have a dream, and this dream was before you and your husband was ever met. And so God gave you this child in the womb that he knew before. He has also a plan. He put this vision in your heart, which is a part of the plan, to build a foundation, which is going to help with therapy. And all the parents can come bring the kids to therapy, get the education. The school is right there. There is supplies on the same ground. So whoever come to therapy, if they run out of diapers, if they run out of some farm food or so, they can get some food from the organization right there, all in one complex. We can do this because we can do all things through Christ. And then remind them that if there's somebody want to volunteer some skills, time to help these parents, whether virtually, because we can learn things virtually. And so they can also reach out. And Carol is going to do that in her language right now. So that's basically what she's going to be translating.
Thank you. Okay. Twasha kiagalo mwenye umoja kwa tuihaha tubuka awareness university CP ni cerebral palsy ngere tugire ni murimo kana condition yokaga ni undu wa meciria kana hakiri cigiaga ukoro ni ciagia na riera riria ribataranite, koguo condition ino iguka ikaikira. Tugire mundu na condition ino enda kwendwo akamenyererwo, okorwo ni ndawa ciake akaheo ihinda-ini riria kwagirire, tondu waga kunyua mathaa maria magirire ni agiaga na kindu twitaga conversions, na ti njega ni icokagia mundu ucio thutha kana mwana ucio thutha. Koguo mundu ucio endwo, mundu ucio amenyererwo, o uria ungienda kwendwo korwo niwe amenyererwo wega, aheo kĩrĩa abataire, irio iria agĩrĩire kũrĩa, ũrĩa ũngĩhota gũthiĩ cukuru atwarwo, mũgĩthiĩ handũ mũtigatige mwana ta ũcio thutha, mũgathiĩ nake akorwo nĩ kanitha, ũmũhe maica marĩa magĩrĩire. Tondũ kĩndũ kĩmwe kĩa mbere tugire atĩrĩrĩ, ũkorwo wĩna mwana ũyũ rĩ, nĩ ũgũkuga nĩ mũhĩtũku mũtihani wa gũkorwo na mwana ũcio, nĩkĩo Ngai arĩkia wĩra mwana ũcio, tondũ gũtirĩ ũndũ umaga Ngai na thutha. Koguo mwana ũcio ona mũtanamũgĩa, Ngai no oĩ ona mũbango atĩ mwana ũcio special no agoka na mũikare nake. Koguo ũmwende, ũmwĩtĩkĩre na ũmũmenyerere. Rĩu tũrĩ o hau nĩ ngũgwetete ndĩna ciana 115, ciana cia CP ndĩna gĩkundi kĩu. Rĩu nĩ tũkoragwo na mabataro ma wheelchairs, ma diapers na irio na ndawa ici manyuaga ciĩtagwo anticonvulsants, nĩgetha mwana ũcio ndakae na convulsions. Convulsions ihana ta kĩndũ, nĩ kĩndũ gĩũka gĩkanyita mwana ũcio akahana ta mũndũ mũthiru, kana ũkona mũndũ akĩinaina, kana agĩikia moko na magũrũ, ũndũ ta ũcio. Na rĩu ũndũ ũcio no ũke ona ũtũme mwana ũcio ahurũke, ahurũke biũ agwe. Koguo nĩkĩo mabataraga ndawa icio, na ndawa icio nĩ cia bata mũno. Rĩu ciana icio ndĩnacio, mabataro macio twĩnamo, rĩmwe nĩ bangaga event tũgeka, na Ngai agateithia tukona andũ, tukona kanitha yakwa na arata magoka tukanyitanĩra tukahota kũmahe indo icio. Rĩu wĩ hau, korwo no wende tũnyitanĩre, no ngene mũno, wĩtĩkĩre kũnginyĩra na namba ciakwa. Namba ciakwa nĩ 0724 661967. Harĩa Facebook no bado no ũnyone, njĩtagwo Blessings Bone, nĩ ũkũnyona hau. Boni nĩ Blessings and then Boni nĩ BONNI, nĩ ũkũnyita hau. No ũthiĩ harĩa messenger-inĩ ya Facebook nĩ tũkwaria. No ũnjĩre ũkwenda gũtũ-support atĩa, ũkwenda gũtũnyitĩrĩra atĩa, na Ngai wa muoyo nĩ arĩkũrathimaga, tondũ mũndũ ũrĩa ũrateithia mũndũ ũtangĩgũcokeria rĩ, nĩ Ngai ũkoragwo ũgĩteithia. Hĩndĩ ĩrĩa ũratũrathima na diaper icio kana ndawa icio, nĩ Ngai ũkoragwo ũgĩteithia kũnyita itemi, na Ngai no arĩkũrathima, Ngai no arĩgwĩkaga wega. Nĩ ndĩna kĩroto ngoretwo ndĩnakĩo, na ndĩrĩ onakĩo thaa ici, na ngũkĩnyitĩrĩra nginya rĩrĩa Ngai akahingia. Nĩ nyendaga mũthenya ũmwe tũgakorwo na therapy center, tũgakorwo na thibitarĩ, na tũgakorwo na cukuru ciothe cia ciana special, kĩndũ gĩakorwo gĩgĩteithia ciana ici. Harĩ handũ ndĩronire mũgũnda wa ĩka igĩrĩ harĩa Rũiru, ũrauma million 2 acres. Rĩu Ngai agĩteithia tuone handũ hau, na nĩ ndĩrehoka Mwathani atĩ Ngai nĩ ekũhutia we wĩ hau, Ngai nĩ ekũkwarĩria wĩna ũhoti ũcio, kana wĩna mũrata, kana wĩna organization ĩngĩhota gũgũteithĩrĩria, ũhote kũgũra mũgũnda ũcio, ũhote gwaka facilities icio, nĩgetha kĩroto kĩu gĩtuĩke gĩa kũhinga, gĩa kũguna mũingĩ. No ngene mũno, na Ngai nĩ egũkũrathima na nĩ egũgwĩka wega. Ndĩna account ĩrĩa ũngĩnjikĩria kĩrĩa ũngĩkorwo nakĩo, nĩgetha tũhote gũkinyanĩria kĩoneki gĩkĩ, whether nĩ cia kũgũra mũgũnda ũcio, kana cia monthly basis, yani o mweri o mweri kũgũraga diapers icio kana irio kana ndawa icio, nĩ ngũkena na nĩ ngũgũcokeria ngatho. No ũnjarĩrie namba-inĩ ĩyo yakwa ya 0724 661967, kana bado ndĩna account ya Equity harĩa ũngĩnjikĩria kĩrĩa ũngĩkorwo nakĩo, na Ngai nĩ egũkũrathima. Account number ĩyo nĩ 095 017 084 0513. Ndĩmĩcokere. Account number nĩ 095 017 084 0513, na nĩ gũkũrutĩra rĩtwa rĩakwa Carol Kinuthia, na Ngai nĩ egũkũrathima.
You are awesome. And Carol, you listen to Carol, and Carol is just translate for us an overview of what we talked about. Cerebral palsy was caused by her child was stuck in the birth canal, and as a result was deprived of oxygen, and that will lead up to cerebral palsy. It's not a curse. It's not something that the family has done. And if you are a family with that condition right now, you can embrace your child and love your child, and it all begins in home, and over you model for the home and model for the community. That's the greatest inclusion you can ever strive for. And so she has a huge dream to build a complex, a foundation, a building for parents and their children with cerebral palsy in Kenya. She has already identified the land. She know where 2 acres is. Carol, what is it? What is the cost of the land in Kenya?
Yeah, it's 36M.
6M?
36. An acre is 18M. So 2 acres is 36M.
6M.
36.
36. 36?
Yes. Yeah.
So 36 millions?
Yeah.
So 36 acres of land in Kenya dollars.
No, 2 acres of land.
Yes.
Equals to that 6M.
And 6M is what, 6 million?
That's 36. Yes,
36.
6. Yes.
Okay. So you're saying the 2 acres of land is going to cost about 36 million in Kenyan dollar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kenyan shillings. Kenyan shillings.
Kenya shillings?
Shilling. Yeah.
Shilling.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to do the US conversion of that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So there you got it, guys. I am so grateful. I'm so excited. And thank you so much for serving the families, serving your family, serving your daughter, saying yes to coming on board and doing what you're doing. Can you go ahead and really thank the parents, the mothers and the fathers who are, on the journey, and just let them know that we love them and we supporting each other, and we're all gonna, do our part, because it's just the right thing to do. It's ethical, it's a responsibility. Actually, the scripture tells us, I think is in Proverbs 31, that we ought to speak up for those in society who cannot speak up for themselves. And so just encourage them, and just tell them to, keep going, keep holding on amidst the connotations and the stereotypes. And just go ahead and, you can thank your government and your country for giving you the platform and the opportunity to bring awareness and to spread your voice out there.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, let me start by thanking the government of Kenya, the media houses especially, and even the friends that comes and tells me, appreciate guys, can we record something like what you do, the awareness that you're creating, because it's touching people. I thank God. I appreciate everyone who has ever given me interviews, even the ones that are ahead, like on Saturday, I'll be having another. Yeah, I have several. I thank God for that. I don't pay. Yeah, I know people pays to be on TV, but for me, I thank God for his favor. Like people pays for my, for my interviews, for my shows, so that I be there. That's a favor from the Lord, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. Also want to thank all the special parents, starting with the fathers especially, the men that have never run away from their families, and yet a special child is there, because I've seen them that have not just decided to leave their families and ran away and went and started other families. It's unfortunate for that to happen, but I really want to thank this one, the ones that have stuck with their families, despite the challenges, the hardships, or the stress, that you have, you choose to be there, to stand there, raising that child, giving hope to that child, making sure the child has everything, or that person, the special person, is getting everything that is needed, even if sometimes maybe you're not able to provide everything that is needed, but at least you're not denying. It's not that like you have that money and you are denying the person the rights, to all those basic needs, but at least you are trying your best. You are doing well. You have never decided to kill the child, and please never do that, because even people living with disabilities have the right to life, and that's why God created them and God has kept them alive. So let them live. If anything, if a day will come and that person or that child will go home to be with the Lord, let it be a natural death. It will not be that someone murdered that person or poisoned them, because the Lord will be accountable to that. And you are a murderer, you don't want to have such name, you don't want to do that to be a reason why someone else's life was ended. No, just hold on, continue doing that, Yes, it's not easy. In case you get burnout, reach out to another parent, a special parent, your pastor, a person that you trust, someone who you can lean on their shoulder. When you want to cry, you can be there. Someone who can offer you a shoulder. You will cry there. Someone who will listen to you and talk. Please don't allow yourself to be stressed up, or you can share. The best thing about sharing is that you pour out whatever is in your heart, and actually you end up leaving it to the other person. Then you feel better, like you leave it to that. So that's the beauty about sharing. So share, and especially if you can talk to a person who has a child, or a person who has a condition like the one your loved one is having, but the person is elder, a little, as in could be older, a little bit older. The best thing about that is that that person has an experience more than yours. And so you'll be able to ask, like, now I am at this stage. When you get here, how do I cross the bridge from here? What do I do when I'm here? So this person will be there as a blessing. The person will be able to guide you, to help you, and even to give you more hope. And especially when you see them where they are at that point, you'll be like, if so and so didn't give up. Even me, I don't have a reason to give up. So even me, I'll have to just press on and keep going. And that will beauty about you. Even having parents that are special like you, such that they will not condemn you if you go and share your struggles. They will understand you, and there's nothing you like sharing, talking your challenges with someone who is really understanding you, like someone who you are wearing the same shoes. That person means you are like, your closest sister or a brother. It's not even about blood. No, it's that relationship that when another person is in a shoe, the same as the one you are wearing, you kind of connect. You feel each other, you understand each other, and you just want the best to that person, to support, to be there, and give the best that you can. Yes.
That's powerful. Thank you so much, Carol, for your time and all you're doing for your family, your child, and your community. Thank you, listeners, for listening. Listen to Voice of Hope show, where our special guest is Miss Carol over there in Kenya, and she has a foundation, Precious Blessing Cerebral Palsy Foundation. And October 6th is Cerebral Palsy Day, where they support and encourage families. So there you got it. Carol, thank you so much. We're so grateful, guys, for what you're doing and reaching out. And if you have any questions or any concerns, you can reach us at our voice for the voices at gmail.com. Carol,
yes,
thank you
you're
for
most
great
welcome.
with
Thank
your
you.
language and
Yeah,
your country. So
thank you.
until next time,
Yeah,
walk good.
thank you.
All right. Let's ensure